All right. So what I should start doing is taking clips of my videos and streams when I mention something and then it turns out to be right regarding comic books. But Marvel Studios is reportedly developing an American Chavez series for Disney Plus, right? And God says you called it on stream. Like, of course I did. Now that's not a boast to brag. That's just saying if you pay attention to how things are lining up, it just makes sense, right? When you consider that they are saying that they want to prioritize diversity, right? Going into this next phase, you can have Victoria Alonso. She's saying all of that and stuff, as opposed to prioritizing what made them great for 10 years. It seems like they want to place emphasis on that. And you're starting to see that with the goofy ass characters that are being brought into the Marvel Cinematic Universe that absolutely nobody asked for. But also, even when you consider the characters that do exist, so many of them are getting tokenized. Like, Eternals, the damn near the entire Eternal cast is race gender swapped to something. And it's just weird. But then you take into consideration as well some of the other characters that we got, like Captain Marvel, which is knockoff of another character. She's tokenized Marvel. Jane Foster's Thor got announced. So that's obviously that was the end of the last phase regarding Captain Marvel. But then we started to see the Disney Plus stuff get highlighted, and there were some good that comes out of that, right? You got um, Moon Knight. Also, Blade being confirmed was a character that I know a lot of people asked for, right? Which that I don't think that's part of that Moon Knight either. I was actually very surprised that of all characters they went with Moon Knight, but they had to couple that with like She-Hulk, which She-Hulk is probably Marvel's best tokenized character. I would argue that's been better handled historically, and I think there's a reason for that. It has nothing to do with any other writers nowadays, but because of that, you're going to get goofy characters, and I called this way back when, and then you saw that they talked about Miss Marvel. They've confirmed Miss Marvel, and now they're confirming America Chavez. Now think about all of the goofy ass characters that they're bringing in, knockoffs, characters nobody asked for. They're skipping the line, and what I mean by when I say that is that there's you just sit and think. If you're a fan of Marvel comics, just think of all of the different characters that could be used, that could be utilized, that probably should have long appeared in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, that still haven't appeared in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, but you're getting goofy characters like that, like America Chavez, which is not even a. They're gonna highlight the fact that she's Hispanic, but for those that don't know, she's basically she's an alien. She's not really Hispanic. She's an alien that takes the form of a Hispanic person. So, but either way, that's not going to stop them from highlighting that by any means. But yeah, so you get Miss Marvel's goofy ass. She's such a fucking trash. That character is so terrible. It's a goofy ass character. Nobody's asking for this character to be appearing in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, aside from the people that Google stuff real fast and probably like, oh well, we should make this character show up. But more so, you got to look at the fact that they're skipping the line, and this is what worries me going into the next phase, is that they're blatantly saying that okay, we're not gonna make characters that we know should appear. Like for example, if you're gonna use Thor or a variation of sort of a Thor and that influence, obviously Beta Ray Bill would have been a more obvious character to bring in. Hell, even Thunderstrike would have been more obvious. But they brought in Jane Foster's Thor, which is a more newer incarnation that was like 5 years ago, and the line sucked and so forth. Now we're getting we're getting Jane Foster store, unfortunately. So you gotta think about all the people that are skipping line. They're skipping the line here, bro. And it just goes to show that again, if they're gonna prioritize this goofiness, you're going to get characters that are gonna be brought in that are gonna be either completely race swapped, or you're gonna get characters that nobody asked there, but they're gonna promote it just like they did with Captain Marvel, female character, right? Granted, there's a long list of female characters Marvel that could have chose that were better than this, but they prioritized that. You know, she's so strong, she's so powerful. Think about all the little girls that are gonna be so inspired by this trash ass character, right? And that's what they're gonna put in the forefront, as in, oh, this is the first this type of character, right? Instead of using characters that aren't as goofy, that may even be minority groups that you can utilize. Definitely now that you have the X-Men and stuff like that, I just don't understand this shit, right? But the bringing in these goofy characters, and nobody asked for, and I'm more so looking at the simple fact that they are skipping the line, and that means that they're not bringing in other characters. I will give them props for Moon Knight, but Moon Knight has been surrounded by a bunch of shit, to say the least.